And we're live. Who all's here hanging out ahead of time? Got a link reminding everybody, if you're not yet registered, you can register right there, NoNameNationals.com, redirects to the Square site. Got the one-eyed cat in here early, Wendy English and Lars, and E. Boyd. Big Mike of the Hoopty Barn says, good evening, folks, from Carolina Beach, North Carolina. That sounds good. Got a good week for it coming up. Dean Stevenson, Twisted Mopar Dennis, Junkyard D. Twisted Dennis says, stand by for action. Well, you see it. Mohawk 62 is here, as is Lumpy. Mohawk said he almost scrolled past the thumbnail. He thought it had something to do with NASA. No, that's a GearVendors overdrive. I was in a local junkyard here. I saw that sitting on the shelf. Thought that was pretty cool. Wrong English. Ray. So Thumper's wondering if he should watch this live or do a video. I say do a video. But if you throw in the towel, hanging out with us can be the consolation prize. Heavens Mopar Scott. Mostly Mopar, who is working on a set of headers, which is pretty interesting. I've been getting some updates on that. He's running second in the No Name 500, but not for long. There's changes coming sooner than you might think. Colleen Tebow, Madam Secretary, hello. Thumper says 3 unskippable ads. Yikes. Yeah, well, I don't get them on this end, but I sure get them for everything else. Twisted Dennis tried to post a 3-minute short. It might be uploaded by 6 a.m. tomorrow. Yeah, when I got to post anything more than a short, I just go by the library. It's just so much faster. Colleen says that mostly Mopar's at 425. Yes, he's getting close. Very close. Rapid Transit J is here. Who's he's getting pretty old. That's all I'll say. He's getting up there. I won't say any more than that. He knows what I mean. Vintage Adventure Drives Tanner says, I'm at work today. Okay. Thumper says, so much terrible and erroneous information out there over the E85 thing. I have found it is amazing, the fountain of misinformation on the internet. It is just unbelievable, the stuff people claim. And here's one that blows my mind. People can take a false premise question and then get an AI answer that doesn't really understand what they're asking and then justify the answer, thinking that's infallible. So not only is it just a mismatch of sources that might not be accurate, it's based on a bad question, and then it's held up as truth. This whole thing with AI is only compounding the problem of people who don't vet their sources. And it comes on the heels of people who absolutely don't understand the difference between reading and research. Well, they say, I've researched something. Like, you haven't researched anything. All you've done is read other people's opinions about it. I'm telling you, it's a huge mess. And so with Thumper, what you're seeing is all of that coming together. But I digress. It is a big thing. The one-eyed cat says splashdown of Artemis in, was that 4 hours and 30 minutes? I'll be back. Or is that 4 minutes and 30 seconds? Cool. Jay's Junker says, hello all. Thank you guys for watching my premiere last week and very thankful for the subs. Hey, it's cool. We enjoy watching your journey. Jay's Junkers is running in the No Name 500. And by the way, we have 9 channels running in the No Name 500, 9 at the same time. We don't usually have quite that many, which is great. We have a great class this year. I keep saying, you know, we're going to use up all of the newbies each year. And each year we get a great new class every year. And so we've got it again this year. So who's going to win this? Now we can start talking about it. Who's going to win the Cinderella Award for 2026? Who's going to win the winner of the No Name 500? It's got a great legacy. I mean, Buck does it, wins it the first year. Buff Campo won it 1 year. Vintage Adventure Drives, I believe, won it 1 year. Nate Blue Collar Performance won it 1 year. We got some really heavy hitters who've won this thing. And now this year, who's going to win the No Name 500 for 2026? Be thinking about it. Turbo Tom replaced an intake cam this morning, did a short. I forget, when you say intake cam, I forget engines that have separate intake and exhaust cams. Always just seems weird to me. Tell what I'm not used to working on. Indiana Garage, a.k.a. Hoosier Garage. Howdy. Thank you for coming by, Adam. We're glad you're here. Dean Stevenson said, misinformation is easy to fix. I use the hide user from my channel. Well, you know, that won't fix it, but it can cut down on how much you get, I guess. And Tanner says, the biggest erroneous bit of info out there is Thumper's claim that he'll outrun my scam. Boom. That's a good one. Thumper says, I'm putting an AI search question into the video I'm working on. So incredibly wrong. Oh, yeah. I will say, originally, when AI was pretty new and much worse than it is now, I mean, it was, you know, AI then to AI now is like the Etch-a-Sketch compared to pictures. But when you would ask it about the No Name Nationals about 2 or 3 years ago, the answer was unbelievable. It was garbage. And now it's actually pretty close. There's still some things you can tell it doesn't get quite right, but for the most, it's pretty close. It's pretty close to the most part. So I guess AI is getting better, but it's still what I worry about is AI is getting too good, and it's fooling a lot of people. I see so many people watching things that are created by AI, and they just aren't true. Colleen puts up the link for Jay's Junkers. He is running the No Name 500. He has put his money where his mouth is and jumped in the ring. And we already know that he's a legacy, and we know he's cut from the right cloth, so I expect he'll get it. Left Turn Dodge says, hello, YouTube world. Left Turn Dodge currently running first in the No Name 500. Tell us in the chat, do you think he's going to be our first alumnus for 2026? Mohawk is here. Mostly Mopar says, hot tip of the day. Make sure you have welding gloves on when grabbing something you're welding on. Forgot I had cheap nylon mechanics gloves. They will melt your fingers. Ooh, I bet. I bet. Mopars, Mustangs, and Minivans is sub number 426 for Mostly Mopar. Epic subscription number. It's a good number. Danny Boyd did body work again today. We'll post some video on it. We want to see it. Thumper says, I've been telling small channels that build cars to come check us out. Yeah, Thumper has, and I reposted a community post of his about that very thing. And I got to tell you, you guys are the front lines of recruitment. So when you see these channels out there, invite them. You know, just tell them, hey, come check out our community. Junkyard D and Mohawk are saying splash down. Indiana Garage says, I asked AI about my channel one time, and it told me that I restored boats as well as cars and sold them for hundreds of thousands. That was interesting, as I didn't know that about myself. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The first description of No Name Nationals and AI was amazing. Thumper says, the ignorant will believe whatever they are told with it. Authority. Absolutely. Quote of the night already. I'm giving it that. Mohawk, next question. Are they alive or fried? Oh, boy. Twisted Disc says AI is all you're going to have pretty soon. But it's bad. There's so much of it. It's so much of it. So much AI voiceover and all. It's just refreshing to see people that actually do real video and such. Kerosene Cucumbers is here. Dallas's favorite username on YouTube, for good reason. How many registrations are we up to? How many times do I never tell you that? They're healthy. We have good registration numbers. I'd love to see us get more than ever, but we're on par. We're actually on par, a little better. For April, we're doing really well. Vintage Venture Drive says, I enjoy content from both our top 2 No Name 500 members. They are both out there making good content and have interesting content. I agree with that. They are. They're killing it. Both of them. Matthew Ward, a.k.a. 6th Street Garage. John Wilburn's Lives, more real people. Well, yeah, I guess. Cutter Down Garage 303. Hi, everyone. Heatwave is here. Sunglasses. Racer Races. Just the other day, I was out in the driveway chatting with a Swedish YouTuber. He didn't think he could hack it, I guess. Why not? I'd like to see Sweden represented at the No Name Nationals. Big Mike of the Hoopty Barn says, this is not AI. That's where he is right now. Man, that looks great. I got kind of bumped out of a beach trip last year and a couple years before that. And it's like, oh, man. So we'll see. I really wanted to just plan for May at the beginning of the year. And I said, I just cannot make that plan that far out. But who knows? Who knows? I just got some things I just must get done before I can take my foot off the gas pedal any at all. Dean Stevenson asks, hands up anyone here who is an AI fake. Well, if they put their hand up, how are you going to see it? Well, like this. Jay and Thumper. Old McDonald says, John Show is AI always interesting. I don't know how. I mean, I'm not the one that makes it interesting. You all are the ones that make it interesting. Yeah, you're the fun ones. I mean, absolutely nobody should want to see me without all of y'all. It's the hangout. It's you guys who bring all the fun stuff in here. I'm just hosting it. I'm hosting the cookout. You guys are the ones bringing all the fun. All right. We got a guest tonight. We got a guest. Fair warning. Lunar Outlaw Garage is coming over from the NSF live stream of Splashdown of Integrity. Welcome home to the crew of the Integrity and an amazing trip around the moon. God bless the crew and God bless America. Yeah. Left Turn Dodge says, I can assure there is no intelligence here. No, McDonald's says I'm as fake as they come. Cutter Down Garage says AI killed the video star. Oh, well, yeah, maybe. I think that's true. I think you're right. I think you're right. Indiana Garage says, wow, way to make it all serious, Lunar. Yeah, that's Lunar. Bigfoot Mark says, just got my 2015 3/4 ton Ram back with new warranty, 6.4 Hemi. My warranty covered it. I'm glad to hear that. Wrong English says, community over fame and fortune for this crew. Indeed. All right, and with that, we got a guest tonight. I told you there's big changes coming to the No Name 500, and I meant it. Welcome, Chris from Left Turn Garage.
Hi.
Howdy. All right. He's in here tonight. He was at 471 subs a little bit ago. Tonight's the night. So if you have not already subscribed, go check out his channel and see if he earned your sub. He certainly earned mine. He has a neat channel. He's doing stuff nobody else is doing. I always like to mess with people when I call them the first time when they don't recognize the number. And I call him up and I say, is this Left Turn Dodge? He says it is. I said, well, this is Right Turn Dodge. I have a YouTube channel. Can we collaborate? But no, it's time. It's the first 500. Yeah, Tanner knows what's up. He knows what time it is. The first 500 on a live for the year. Let's make it happen. Yep, tonight's the night. These are ambush lives. We never tell you they're coming. So if you've not yet subscribed, go over there and check out his channel. Can anybody give us an update where he is right now? He was at 471 before the live started. Where is he right now? Someone, Colleen Tebow or Miss Secretary Unfinished Project Lars, any of you, if you would, please put up the link to Left Turn Dodge's channel. And now's the time to get on your network, your personal social media pages, text your friends, say, hey, here's a guy doing circle track stuff with vintage Mopars. How cool is that?
It's okay, Tim.
Tonight is the night. Thumper, the sweaty fat guy. Ambush in the sandbox is unfun. Ambush on here is fun. Yes, I can see that. You know, it's funny because my dad, he did not live to see the era of the No Name Nationals, but he would have thought it was interesting that we called it an ambush live. He knows what an ambush is. But, all right. Colleen puts up the link for Left Turn Dodge. I'm going to jump over here and pin it. All right. Should have the message pinned at the top for Left Turn Dodge. 476 with Wrong English's sub. Thumper tells us. All right. We're climbing. 24 to go. So Mr. Chris there, Left Turn Chris, I see the Super B shirt, style points for that. What do you have in the background there?
That's just a curtain.
That's psychedelic tapestry you have going.
It saves us a lot of fuel.
It keeps the light out, keeps the cold out.
Okay. All right. I like it. So tell people who are not yet familiar with your channel what you do over there.
I've been racing Dodge Mopar stock cars for over 30 years now, and off and on. You know, I haven't raced every one of those 30 years, but you know, a little off and on. And so I kind of got looking around on YouTube for, you know, trying to learn things about it, and I found out that really there's only one channel that's doing hardly anything for Dodge circle track cars. So I was like, well, you know, there's somebody needs to do it so that when the next guy goes looking, he can find something.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always been Mopar. I grew up my dad was a Chrysler mechanic, and it's just, you know, the only option for me. And I was lucky enough to have found a friend early who was doing it also, and I learned a lot from him. But then I kind of had to go above and beyond what he was doing. I had to figure out a lot of things on my own. You know, that was before the internet, so it was a lot of you know, there was only so many books, but you know, I read all those 3 or 4 times, and then started reading on you know, the competitors and how they did things and trying to make it translate. You know, so trying to get something out there for someone else.
I like it. I like sharing info. And in the interest of full disclosure, you are friends with the Rabid Transit Garage crew.
Yeah, I see Jay pretty frequently.
Yeah, I'm just good folks. So, you know, when I heard that you're part of that crew, that already says, okay, he's going to be a good dude. He's going to do things and work and show up. And all of that stuff they do, and they're known for, right? But you're bound to have some good stories, you know, doing circle track stuff. I don't know anybody that's ever raced circle track who didn't.
Yeah,
what kind of good stuff can you tell us about?
What's that?
You're bound to have some good stories.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with some that can be told on here. I actually was thinking about things today, and I got to realizing that last September I won a heat race in my vintage series at my local track, and that was actually like 30 years and 3 months after I won my first circle track race. So, and then I realized that that's actually occurred through 4 different decades.
Yeah.
So a lot of longevity there. I've known a lot of people, seen a lot of things change. It seems the more advanced the cars get, the worse the people get.
Huh. The more advanced the cars get, the worse the people get. Worse in what way?
It's gotten. It used to be more of a community like this is, and it's really gotten to not necessarily always be that.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are friends to your face, but not necessarily when you're not there.
More oriented around wins and money and fame and such, and less about the community and the sport.
Yeah, most of the people I'm racing with aren't getting rich or getting famous, but
Sure.
It'd be cool if they did.
I think it's really cool. So what things you've had to learn, just a whole different build language than most of us to make a car that turns left, a circle track. That's a whole different world.
Yeah. I leave the lower control arms in their stock location. But upper control arm mounts, everything's got to get moved to make it work better.
Really? What do you do? It's like this is a 71 Charger or 72?
That's a 70. It looks like a Charger, but it's actually a Duster underneath.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
That's a 108-inch wheelbase, and and it's all A body.
Huh? So you took a Duster and skinned it with 71 to 74 B body stuff.
I bought the car. It had been a race car somewhere else, and I bought it with no body on it.
Huh?
And I happened to have this 73 Charger, 74 Charger body that I had actually had the complete car. I sold the complete car to a guy who cut the body off and put a 69 Roadrunner body on it. And he messaged me like 9 months later. He's like, "Hey, if you want that body back, I'll make you a really good deal on it." So I had the body, and I needed a body to put on this car as we were building it. The body's about 3 or 4 inches wider, so it keeps the tires covered. And I built this car actually for a kid who was 18 at the time, raced it the first season. So I wanted everything that could get damaged protected as well as it could be. So we put the wider body on it, and that's why the front end doesn't quite look right, because it lost 8 inches of wheelbase roughly.
Really? That's right. I mean, I would just never have thought that. I've only seen it in the videos and in pictures, but I've never really studied enough to notice what you're talking about. But that's pretty cool. I'd imagine it's a lot lighter too.
We have to weigh 3,400 pounds for the class that I race in. So there's a lot of extra metal welded into that one, though.
Yeah, but you could move the weight more where you wanted it to.
Yeah,
there's stock Duster probably doesn't weigh 3,200.
There's about 300 pounds of lead, I think, in it. 200 pounds of lead, somewhere in there. I don't remember for sure on that one. It's actually not very much different weight than my 72 Barracuda, which is also a stock car. I just haven't. The videos on that predate my joining the No Name Nationals, so you'd have to go back and look in the history.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you and crew checking in. I think you're over at Nashville right now, aren't you? Doing some burnout stuff. I know he had some trouble, but was going to try to get some things fixed and rallied. But thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you.
Thanks for the subs.
Yep, we appreciate it. You were at 481. So Jay is saying 19 more. Mike is on a balcony by the ocean in North Carolina. Oh, that sounds so great. I've not been to the coast in years.
It's not a bad day here in Wisconsin, but I'd rather that.
Yeah. Brian Beeler's here. He says, "Hey, everyone. We'll tell you, Brian, our no-name 500 front runner, Chris of Left Turn Dodge, tonight is his night. He is at 481 subs. He's 19 away from punching his ticket. He'll be the first channel this year to do so. If he does it tonight, or unless Mostly Mopar throws the most amazing end zone pass in No Name Nationals history to get 74 before Chris.
I want to see it.
19. Yeah, it'd be wild. I mean, no one loses. Everybody just needs to get their 500, in 166 days and 3 hours and 34 minutes. But I mean, nobody's going to lose. Dr. Go, howdy. He says, cool to see this counter for left turn dodge. Yep, he's at 482. So let your friends know, get on your social media, send out the links, just say, hey, check this guy out. He is doing cool circle track Mopar stuff on YouTube, vintage stuff. How cool is that, right? Like, if this had nothing to do with the No Name Nationals, the No Name 500, and I saw that channel, I would be there and sub because it is really cool.
I think
Lots of small block stuff going. Yeah, it's just legit. But most parts is maybe I should give a car away to members or something. You're doing great, and I'm really enjoying the build that he's doing. So he's coming up. His time is close.
I actually watched some of his videos this week.
44. Yeah, he's got great stuff going, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Brian Beeler just subscribed. You know, one of these days I'm going to get me a classic for a daily, and I'm gonna see if I can put in a friendly request to Beeler to do a roundup on them, and that's how I'll shop. He does a great job of that. What I enjoy about what he does over there is it reminds me of the old trade papers. It's just the way he narrates it. It has an old school style to it.
Sorry.
Yeah, Big Mike of the Hoopty Barn thinks that Unfinished Project will be lurking in the background to be your 500th. He very often is the 500th sub. Lunar says, do it. Daily driving a classic is awesome. The scary part is my newest addition to my fleet. They need 2002 pickup truck is almost a classic. That's the newest of anything I own. I haven't driven a vehicle made in the last 40 years for 2 months now. Transmission slipping in the CRV. I've been driving the van, the Jeep. Dean Stevens says Jethro have the paper cup. Now, that's not Jethro. That's a Left Turn Dodge's crew. But no, Jethro's taking a nap. He's been doing a lot better Friday night when I do the live stream. Yeah, that sounds great to me, Beeler. I think that's cool. That's Tank. Okay. Indeed. That's Tank telling us what's what. What kind of dog is Tank? I think he forgets he can tell us.
Yeah, I think I did. I think he's a mixed mutt.
He's EPS guy.
He's mostly bully mix, but the funny thing is he doesn't like the FedEx or the Amazon guys, but he hates the UPS truck.
Really?
It can be like 500 feet down the road either way. He will jump up and start barking, and we're 100 feet off the road.
That's wild, you know. And they all have those things about them, like Jethro is with motorcycles.
UTVs he doesn't like either.
Yeah, he doesn't like the side-by-sides. We get those driving by all the time, too.
Just really
Those don't bother Jethro at all. He's fine with them. But motorcycles, ooh. Vintage Venture Drive's been daily driving the 73 Scamp. Oh, yeah, that's a great daily.
Yeah, I'd like to start daily driving my Cruster, but it's getting new tires, so that's one less thing that I got to worry about.
Dean says, great judge of character. Yeah, you know, dogs usually are a pretty good judge of character. They're unfiltered about it. Mrs. One-Eyed Cat says you're at 485. You are 99.7% of the way there. Lunar says, I'm hoping to build and daily drive the 68 Porsche 911. Wow, just started filming that it didn't look in better shape than the 72 Satellite. That 72 Satellite's one of the most infamous, don't want to think about it builds ever for a number of reasons.
What is he barking at?
Racer Races, the classic dailies are the greatest. The blue one never gets rest. Yeah, he lives it. Junkyard DC's UPS must have custom exhaust because my dog can hear them coming a mile away too. Doesn't bother Jethro at all. In fact, he jumped up in the truck one time. Mom took a picture of him and they put it on their Instagram. Him on the UPS truck.
We've got something that delivers here, and I'm not even sure. I think it might be Amazon. One of the Amazon trucks has got an LS in it that's got a broken exhaust, and it has for months now. That one doesn't even bother him.
Mm-hmm. They have their reasons. Big Mike wants to daily drive the 76 Hornet. He could do it too. Mike's another guy that gets stuff done. I could see him doing that.
A Hornet would be cool.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Big Mike brings something wild and different to No Name Nationals every year.
I remember as a kid riding in the back seat of my grandfather's, probably about a 76 Hornet. Had to have 1 foot on the tunnel and 1 foot on the rocker, and I could look down and watch the ground go by underneath me.
You can kind of do that in my dad's Jeep from the Rust.
That was in the 80s already.
Oh, gosh. Old McDonald says, my 2 dogs can hear the rabbits outside in the dark. Wow. That's some good hearing. I have really good hearing. I don't think Jethro has anything on me. My eyesight's not that great, but I can hear really well. Indirect Jason says the 300 Fords ran forever. They are great engines, as are the 240s. Yeah. You guys who are in the know, I don't know the answer to this, but dimensions on the outside, was the 300 and the 240 the same physical outside size? And then was the 200 different, the 200 inline 6? Because that's what the Falcon had. That was our family car when I was born. Do you know the answer to that, Chris? Or, I mean, who here might know?
Yeah, I haven't got any clue on that.
Yeah, I don't either. I know we got some Ford guys in here that know the answer to this. The 300, I think, and the 240 are the same physical size. But is the 200 the same physical size? I know it's 60 cubes smaller than the 240. I just don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I've done a little bit with the small block Fords, but that was a long time ago. But I never really had anything with the 6 in it.
The slant 6, 170, 198, and a 225 all have the same bore and different strokes, and they were all the same. Well, they had a little bit different deck height. But I didn't know that about the Ford. Yeah, Jason confirms 240, 300 were the same outside size. Danny Boyd's a Ford guy. He says 300, 240 are the same block. 200, 250, 170, 144 are the same engine family and smaller. Okay, so they have like a shorter bore spacing and a physically smaller engine. That's what I was thinking. I just wasn't sure. I was thinking that the 200... Racer Races, I think the 240 was a tall deck, 200 and 300 was different. Okay, now he's different. Danny Boy says 240 is D-stroke 300. Okay, so that all makes sense. Indirect Connection says the 200 was shorter than the 250. Learned that from Walter Blue Grit Wheel. He would know. He's a 6-cylinder Ford guy. The 200 had an integral cast-in intake manifold. That sounds absolutely awful. Oh. Yeah, Dean says they're all 408 bore spacing, the 200, 250, 144. So, okay, well, I don't know. So basically, the 300 and the 250 are the same, and then a smaller one was the other. That sounds all plausible and real and reasonable and such. Excellent. So, how many subs is Left Turn Dodge? And you guys make sure to get him out on your network, share posts, share videos. Let your Facebook, your Instagram, these people know tonight is his night. He's going to get 500 with everybody's help tonight. The 300 was 4.47. Yeah, it's a bigger block altogether. That's what I was thinking. So tell us something cool that's happened to you on the track. I mean, just tell what's a good story from something that's happened during the race. In 2000, I won the Wisconsin State Championship
which is a one race deal. It's not like a real championship. That's just the name of the race. It's the big. We back. I qualified bad, and I wound up starting on the front row, and I'd fixed the car, so took off to a big lead, and the right rear shock actually fell off the car, like came unbolted from the lower plate, and it was dragging on the ground as I've got almost a full straightaway lead, and I actually wound up babying the thing and just driving it as nice and smooth as I could with that shock off the car, which really messes up the way the thing turns.
Oh, yeah.
And so that was one of the worst things I ever had happen at a terrible time. But I did wind up, getting the win, got the trophy, got a little bit of cash.
With a shock hanging under the car.
What's that?
With a shock hanging under the car.
Uh-huh.
And still won.
And I beat a guy who I'd known all my life. We went to school together. Our parent, my dad and his dad were friends in school. And he tells me afterwards, he's like, I was waving my arm at it, pointing at it. He says, I was trying to get their attention. They needed to black flag you. But they didn't. And so I got the win. And it was kind of funny because he caught me with like 2 laps to go. He got really, really close because I was taking it kind of easy.
Yeah.
So I pushed the thing a little bit harder those last 2 laps, and I actually started gapping him. He said he never felt more dejected in his whole life.
Oh, that's beating him bad. That's like beating him on the drag strip and letting your foot off the gas, wrapping the throttle on the top end.
Yeah, that's something I've never done.
Well, you got the first time coming up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's exciting. I'm actually really trying to figure out which car I want to bring. The car that's in my picture, the Charger, that's on a Duster chassis. There's so much stuff moved around in that I don't know that I could make it go straight. So I've got my 72 Charger that I had been working on, and I'm thinking about that. I could also make my 73 CUDA go straight, but I do want to make the drive to Lambert's, and I'm kind of questioning if I'd get away with driving a full-on stock car to Lambert's.
Nobody's gotten stopped or hassled going to or from Lambert's. What I can tell you, though, is we've had a few people misbehave and do burnouts and stuff. And I have told them that is not okay. And you guys get stuck with Scott County pulling you over for that, you're on your own. I don't want it, at our event. So we can behave for 7 miles each way. We can do that, can we not?
Well, I could.
Yeah. We have a drag strip and a burnout pit. On Facebook. Road Transit Jay says you'll have a blast. I guarantee it.
Jay's been guaranteeing that since the
Dean
first
Stevenson
No Name
has
Nationals.
recommended. He stands by it. Dean Stevenson says keep the log head and saw off enough to fit the Offenhauser or Lynx aluminum adapter. That's Dean's recommendation to get away from that integrated intake. So there you go. Dean would know. Dean is a Ford guy. Indirect Jason wants to keep the slant 6 under control this time. Big Mike says, since JB is listening, I hope he can hear the 6-cylinder bracket trophy slipping away from him this year. Big Mike is bringing the, what is that, Avispam Blanco for the win? Okay. Thumper says, what part of Wisconsin? I'm 3 hours north of Green Bay.
I live almost exactly halfway between Madison and Milwaukee.
I'm freezing just reading that. 3 hours north of Green Bay.
Yeah, that's a little cold.
That just seems inhumane. For those of you
lakes
just
never warm up.
For those of you just joining, coming in second shift here, we've got Chris from Left Turn Dodge. He is leading the No Name 500. He is at 485 subs. Last update we had, 15 away from punching his ticket to the 5th annual AHRA No Name Nationals. American Maker is here. Says, how? Hope all are well. Thanks for joining us. And Mean Street Mopar sneaked in here earlier. Mean Street Mopar, how close are we to getting that 318 in the truck? Thumper is in Michigan. Thumper's in the North Pole.
The UP.
Yeah, right. Anybody has any questions for Left Turn Dodge, our front runner in the No Name 500, which I told Jay and Jason to let him know he's got a yellow stripe on his bumper with the No Name Nationals. You know, this is his rookie season with the No Name Nationals, but he's gonna get his 500th sub tonight. American Maker said it got a bit chilly down here in Florida. What's chilly? 75? Most of the old Partron Ward said summers up here, summers in the UP are not too bad as long as both days fall on a weekend. Okay. We've got Dave Stovall here. Stovall Farms and Garage says here for the first time. Well, thank you for joining us. He is in the No Name 500. I believe he has 83 subs, so he's got his work cut out for him, but there's still 166 days, 3 hours, 17 minutes to do it. He could definitely do it.
That's blinding me.
It's good.
Mean
Street Bopar's got his heads to machine shop.
That's probably better.
Pulling the short block apart to Professor P for oil and mods. 68 there. Probably isn't much cooler here. Jay says the Upper Peninsula is a great place for ATVing. Okay, I've never been to Michigan. Dougster says 2 seasons in the UP. There's a winter and 4 months of bad snowmobiling. Okay. Dr. Go appreciates Left Turn Dodge for answering his questions on his video. I enjoy learning from his videos. I like his videos too. He's got cool. I like the small block content over there.
One of these days, I'll get around to pulling apart that W9 I've got.
I want to see that. Yeah, I like it. You can tell he's run those engines a long time. Here's a link to Stovall's channel. I believe he was at 83 subs before the live. Ron's got a mow soon. Had a soaking rain here. Yeah, it's mowing season here. I've mowed here and got to mow everywhere else. So it's a coming. If you've not yet checked out Stovall Farms and Garage, Dave Stovall, check it out there. I really like his video. If you want to see a guy taking a rowboat around in his basement, you can see it on that channel. Check it out.
$485.
485 is what I'm hearing in the background. So let's get that needle moving. We got 15 more to go.
I just checked 485.
Yeah, I've got it up here too. We're kind of stalled out a little bit.
Just a little bit, but it takes a little time. Usually that's the way it works. You get a few in the beginning, then things sit a while, the messages get out there, then they start coming in again.
Motorcycles just went by.
And for those just joining us, we've got Left Turn Dodge Chris in the house. He is leading the No Name 500. He is 15 subs away. So if you're not yet subscribed, check him out. If you want to send out his link to your friends via your other social media, text or whatnot, now's the time to do it. Tell them to check him out.
No.
He is 99.7% of the way there. Stovall confirms it was fun. It's fun to watch. It's a neat video. Ron Ward just subscribed to Stovall Farms and Garage.
Music working.
Main Street Mopar is getting close. He's got the machine. He's getting out of machine shop jail, but he's still got to get it all together. We want to see it. I believe he's running Triple Crown with that combo. It's going to be fun.
I actually have two 340s that I'm going to pick up from a machine shop tomorrow because they've been there a long time and just sitting.
Yeah. I hear that. I'll tell you, machine shops have more than they can do right now.
Now, the one's been there for 2 years, and when I dropped the second one off, he said he hadn't touched it, and I could see he hadn't touched it. I don't think he's touched the other one either, and so it's time to just bring him back home.
Yeah, 340s are just kind of those mythical animals, you know? Machine shop purgatory. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I went back and forth a lot on building a 340 or building a 360, and the 340 has a flatter power curve with the closer to square.
Yeah.
I don't know that it was worth the extra money I spent.
Ron Ward says, speaking of machine shop jail, we used to have over a dozen machine shops in Topeka, Kansas. We're now down to 2. Be glad you still have 2. We have 2 in this town, and I don't think we will for long. Heavens Mopar says, I love those 340s. They are my favorites. They're everyone's favorites. That's the problem. Junkyard D. Anyone see Gary's Garage 800 horsepower 318? Yes, I have. He won a no prep event with it this past weekend, and I want to see a lot more Gary's 800 horsepower 318.
I just saw a picture of that on Facebook. Looks like a pretty cool car.
Thumper says 340 can't be that rare. I have one. They're not that super common. I've got some 340 blocks.
I think I've got 5.
My first one came from underneath was single wide. The dude literally pulled back the underpinning and crawled under there and drug all the pieces out. My favorite is the 318. I love 318. They're just happy engines. It's a cool channel, Gary's Garage. Yes, it is. Old McDonald's got a 68 340 with X heads. Yep. The X heads to the 340 are like the double hump heads to Chevrolet. People love having to be able to say it has the X or the double hump on it, but in reality, the X heads are, they're just J heads with bigger valves. I have some X heads. I guess it's cool because they have the X on them.
I have a set of X heads that's got about 100 miles on them. They were virgin set of castings I took in, and the guy decided he wanted to shave 120 thousandths off of them on me, and then the intake never lined up right.
Oh yeah, 340s are awesome. If you want the big block equivalent, build a 400 with decent pistons. Oh yeah, 400. I love a 400.
Yeah, I've had quite a few 400s.
400's a great engine. It's a shame that they didn't have that 400 combo 5 years sooner. I think it could have been a real screamer. Vintage Venture Drives has that same setup. His 318 has X heads. People have ground a bunch on them. 52cc chambers. Woo! Yeah, he took 100 off of them. How'd your intake fit? Same situation there.
Supposedly, if you do it right, then they'll work. But
yeah, it will. The problem is just those big chambers. That's why they want to take so much off of it. The head I like is the 308 head. It has a 188 valve. You could put a 202 in it if you wanted, but it's got a lot smaller chambers and a better exhaust side. Monaco engine and a power wagon. Cool. Old Mac suggesting to have the intake milled.
The thing with that is then you got an intake that only works on that set of heads.
Yep, this is true. Had the machine shop mill 125 off my X heads, and then I pinned the intake to port match the intake to the head. Big Mike says, I missed my 340 Duster. It wasn't especially fast, but sounded great and was a lot of fun for a 20-something-year-old. Oh, I bet. Mean Street likes the W2 heads. Me too. I think they're great.
I've actually never had a set of W2s.
Nope, me neither. Dougster has 383s, 413s, 440s, no 400 as of yet. I've had a couple of 383s and 318s and 340s, 360, 273, 440. I've not had a 413 or a 400. Tanner had 125 off my intake to fit the heads. Okay.
Sounds about right.
Vintage Adventure Drives has two 400s, traded a 413 block for a 383 block. Okay. Old Mac has a 360 and a 440 and a 340. Good little combo. Bob Hope 123. An 06 Cummins Dooley. The transmission sucks. Any cure? It's automatic. Thanks. An 06 Cummins. What would that be? A 48 RE? Isn't that what that would be in that? Chris 103 Customs first car had the 318 76 Charger SE. Ooh, so that was like the Cordoba Charger, right? Wasn't that what that would be?
Yeah.
Bigfoot Mark's got two 440s. Hey, how's that Belvedere coming? Bigfoot Mark. How are we doing with subs for Left Turn Dodge? We want to make sure he gets his 500 tonight, so get that link out there to your friends. Last I heard was 485. Where are we? Still holding a 485? Right on.
Yeah, we're still there.
Chris says make it manual. Hope actually converted his truck from manual to automatic. He put a 48 RE in his.
Manual or an Allison?
Tanner City has officially subscribed to all the No Name contenders with all of my channels. I've done as much as I can by myself. Cool.
We get another one?
Yep.
Oh. 46.
Dr. Ghost is at chart.
486.
486, 14 to go. Old Max says these Cordobas and Chargers were a nice looking car. Too bad the 383s and 400 had low compression. Yeah, that is too bad. Pistons were way down in the hole. So what is your favorite setup, Chris? If you're building your small block, what's rules legal and what you run, and what do you typically build?
Well, the vintage series I run with is kind of interesting because the only real rules on engine for that is it has to be a cast iron block, and it can only have one carburetor. So that's pretty open. Normally for the weekly racing stuff, it's 10-to-1 compression or 10-8-to-1 compression, 500 2-barrel carburetor, cast iron exhaust, pretty limited stuff. So
I like what people have to make it work in those confines.
What I've never understood about all that is then you spend 4 times as much making the horsepower inside the engine as if you left the inside stock and bolted some stuff on the outside to make the power. You still wind up at the same place. It just costs you more.
Hmm. Junkyard D says left turn LTG. Okay. We all know these roundy round guys are sly fellas. What's the biggest cheat you've seen on the track? That's a good question. He didn't want to say now. you can take the fifth on where you saw it.
Nothing really sticks out as obvious. I've been known to push a few rules, but I always dabbled in the gray areas more than just completely went to full illegal. But back in '99, I built a '69 Super B race car, or '69 Coronet. I painted it like a Super B. I cut the whole firewall out and moved it back to the base of the windshield so I could move the engine back and use the rear sump pan on it. And then, well, I'm a tall guy, so I didn't have any leg room. So I almost put my seat in the back seat, moved the whole cage back and everything, which is all good for weight transfer and weight distribution. And at the time, our class didn't have any weight percentage rules. After that car raced half a season, we got them.
Indirect Connection says you're at 488.
Well, we're getting there.
Evans Mopar says, so what got you interested in circle track racing? When did you start? Tell us about the early days.
When I was a kid, my dad and a friend of his owned a printing company, and they wound up sponsoring a local guy and that was racing at the racetrack. So when my dad didn't have anything else going on weekends, because he also played in a rock band, we'd go watch him race. And I thought it was really cool. And I saw drag racing a little bit on TV, but we didn't have any drag strips within over an hour here. The circle track was only, 15, 20 minutes away. So, I went and watched a lot of circle track racing as a kid and I've never been to a drag strip. So
you've never been to a drag strip yet?
Never been to a drag strip at all.
Oh, you're going to love it. It was great. You're going to love it. Mean Street Mopar says you're at 490.
Nice.
10
to go.
10 to go.
Yeah. Even I can do that math.
Dr. Go said he sent your link over to the kid gearheads to help get to 500. 10 to go.
Yep, there it is, 490.
Indirect Connection says Wisconsin's a short track state. At least it was until the last 10 years or so.
And we've lost a few. Short
tracks are great. Of course, you got to realize the two close NASCAR tracks here are Martinsville and Bristol. So, I love it.
Now, before you came on, I was watching them race at Bristol. It's actually still on the TV.
Yeah, I've been to Bristol. I've actually gotten to make some laps around Bristol. Just, they'll actually let the public go in there at Christmas time, and you get to make a lap through with the lights. It's pretty cool.
My friend Johnny, that I've got a couple of videos of his car on my page. He raced that car there when it was dirt a couple of years ago.
I've never seen it with the dirt in person, but it looks pretty cool. I remember when I was a little kid, I was going to the dragway, the old Bristol, and I remember looking in there because the way you used to get to the dragway is you had to drive up this really steep hill right next to the round track and then down the other side to get to the dragway. And you would go up the hill, and when you got near the peak, you could look through the seats into that big bull ring of a track, and I looked at that and thought, there is no way a car could stay. It just looked like a wall they're driving on. That's what it looks like from the outside. It looks like they're driving on a wall. And when you stand down in the infield and look at that, this is when it was 36 or close to it. They said it measured a little less. But when it was an advertised 36-degree banking track, you could just stand in that infield and look up at turn 3 and 4, just like, how does a car stay on this? It's unreal to look at that in person. And yeah, you get in it in a car, it doesn't seem bad at all. But standing down there, it just looks terrifying. 491. Dougster's saying not far from me is the Kalamazoo Speedway, touted for decades as the world's fastest 3/8 mile. They ripped the asphalt donut at over 100 miles an hour. Great track. So what kind of mile an hour are you running typically?
It depends where we go. When we race at Madison, I'll get up close to 100 miles an hour. We had races at the Milwaukee Mile for a few years with the Vintage Series. In the Vintage Series, I actually the kid that was driving for me was driving my Demon stock car. I was driving my Aspen, and another friend of mine. We put the kid 3 wide in practice down the front stretch at 130. He was a little shocked by that.
Man, I'm telling you, you watch those videos, y'all making laps, you're flying. It's pretty good stuff. Chris 103 Customs has never raced and like to one day on a track. Dude, one day. We have the day. Come on out. Make it happen. Dizzy Izzy is here. He tries to support the new guys and gals. Well, we're at 491 last I saw. We got Left Turn Dodge here. He is 9 subs away. And then he will become the first alumnus of 2026. And right now, also, I know right now we're working with Left Turn Dodge on seeing him get his 500th sub, but we have 9 channels running the No Name 500 right now. We had 2 added on just a couple days ago, and we had another Junkyard J. So it's coming along, I'm telling you. 492, 8 subs away. The word is starting to get out. 8 to go.
Yeah, I had said a while back that once I get to 500, I wanted to call out the next guy behind me. But after watching some of mostly Mopar's videos, I don't got anything that can run with that Duster.
Well, here's the thing, though. A lot of things have to happen. You know, the car's got to get built. The car's got to get there. The car's got to make a clean pass, right? All that has to happen. So never count anything ahead of time when it comes to this.
You know, my thought on that was
hurt a thing.
Yeah, my thought on that is want to call him out. I want to see him there, but we're going to have to get together and figure out what's a fair race.
Do it however you want to. You guys can do it as a bracket. You can do it as a bracket. You can do it as car lengths. You can just try it heads up. Whatever you want to do. You want to run it instant green? You want to run it on a sportsman tree, a pro tree?
Now you're talking.
Well, we have Brooke Clark. Well, that's okay. You'll get there. You'll get to learn all about it. Brooke says 493 for Left Turn Dodge. 7 to go. 494, Brooke reports. This is your Valari at the Milwaukee Mile, Jason says.
Yeah, Jason took that picture.
Where are you in that pack?
I
see a 55 Chevy.
Yeah, I'm the 44.
Here you are.
Yep, that's it.
How cool is that?
And then there's a 69 Charger right next to me,
5 more. to
but that's
go.
on a Chevy frame.
On a Chevy frame?
Yep, 69 Charger on a Chevy frame with a Chevy engine.
What kind of Chevy frame?
Like a 70s Monte Carlo.
Oh my gosh. That's so blasphemous.
I've got a Demon that's on a Monte Carlo frame.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
It's for sale.
Brooke said you were $495. Yeah, you can tell them about it if you want to. Judging by the channel name, do you not road course?
I've raced at the Milwaukee Mile. You guys just saw the picture of that. I've also raced at which was completely out of my league, but what's the track in Sun Prairie? Angel Park.
Angel Speedway.
I've raced at Angel Park Speedway, which for midget racers is like Mecca. Guys come from all over the world to race at Angel Park Speedway. They have a big museum there, and I think they still have Tony Stewart cars and Jeff Gordon cars and stuff in there. And so those are like two of the most iconic tracks in the state of Wisconsin. The third being Road America. And I would love to really love to give that a try someday.
Dizzy
Angel Park
says,
didn't turn out that well.
later, Dizzy. You have a good evening. Chris 103 Custom saw midgets at Wall Race Track in New Jersey. Wall Race Track. Where is that? These little things are fun and exciting. Wendy's saying 3 to go. You must have 497.
$4.99.
$4.99.
My list is $4.99.
They're coming in quick. Oh boy, unfinished project. I hope you're not asleep at the switch. Nurse Brooke Clark there, $4.99.
Yep, I just looked too. It's $4.99.
Mostly Mopar says, if we race, I want the right lane in case you have a roundy round flashback at half track. I was actually kind of thinking that.
500.
Fair enough.
You just got 500.
We got it. We got it.
Wow.
Now I can go to
Jay
bed.
Junker says 500.
You know how to live it here.
You've got it. Congratulations. The congratulations are coming in. Big Mike says, told you. Congratulations.
That's awesome. I appreciate everybody.
Now you can do your call out. Got it.
Mostly Mopar. We're racing, buddy.
The congratulations roll in from everyone. Andrew Nelson says, good evening, gang. Congratulations. Andrew Nelson, he missed all of the wildness. So Left Turn Dodge is now our newest alumnus of the No Name 500. He has punched his ticket. We now have 8 more running. And Mostly Mopar is now the front runner in the No Name 500. His 500 party will hopefully be very soon. Turbo Tom says, see you in 167 days. I would hope that whether everybody makes their 500 subs or not, they're still there. I mean, come on out. All right. He says, sounds like a plan. See you there. He's now the front runner. Well, congratulations. I'm going to be live until 10, and you are more than welcome to stick around. More than welcome. I wanted to get the 500 tonight, and you got it, and congratulations. Stove Off Farms and Garage was $495. Wrong English says, welcome to the No Name Club. Rabbit Transit says, it's going to be fun to see Chris get the drag racing bug. Colleen has sent me a screenshot. I always like to save that. You can see that there. 501. So right on. Have anything you'd like to say to all these folks that got the network running and helped get you over
Thank
the top?
I was pretty sure I was going to make it here, for the past few weeks, but it's a relief.
Big Mike says, welcome to the family. And Dr. Go just wants to go back and get some ice cream from the ice cream truck. What is good? Yeah, nice to see somebody different from me. I agree. I'm glad to have a guest on there. Wendy says, you're family now, Chris. Yes, they've adopted you. Well, you're going to have a great time. We look forward to seeing you on the track. Appreciate you participating in our initiation ritual of the No Name 500. It is a lot of fun. And I will tell you, your second 500 will come like that. It's so much fun. You'll be surprised. Once you're relaxed and just doing content because it's fun and you're sharing, the rest of them come quick. Stovall says, I will be there possibly with my 225 slant 6 street truck. Sounds great to me.
Years ago, I had a couple of those.
I've never had a slant 6. I would. I think they're cool. Andrew Nelson says, we're watching Splashdown. Family ties to the original lunar landing missions. Ah, interesting. Dean Stevens says, throwed roll call alert. So you familiar with the throwed rolls of Lambert's, what they call them?
No, I'm not.
Chris? So the place we go for Thursday dinners is Lambert's, and their website is actually throwedroll.com, or throwed rolls with a D, not thrown, it's throwed. But literally, they'll throw a roll like a football across that restaurant. Anybody that asks for one. And I mean, there were people gotten clocked right in the side of the head with a roll before. It's neat. Jason says the pressure is off. Aren't you glad you're doing this in April and not, September?
Yeah, no more stress.
Jay says, Cope said you have to drive the race car to Lambert's. And they are amazingly accurate. I believe those guys could set that roll on a dime from across the restaurant. Lambert's is a hoot. Yes, it is. We have a lot of fun on Thursday. Thursday's a blast of a day. You go through tech, we cruise to Lambert's. Thursdays is fun. The track isn't hot, but we have a lot of fun.
Well, if everyone wants me to bring the race car and drive it to Lambert's, I hope somebody's going to have bail money.
The family's got your back, but we just love to see you there. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you bring and meet you in person.
Yeah, it only took Jay 5 years to talk me into it.
Mohawk says the rolls are fresh out of the oven. Hot, hot, hot. Yes, they are. They're great. Those rolls are big. They're soft, size of a softball. And they're soft. They're great. Tanner's dad will be there. Dakota is here. Howdy, Dakota. Is the flash mob open to the public? Yes, it is. Thursday's free for everybody. The public can bring their cars out to the car show. The public can come hang out at the track on Thursday. Thursday is free for everyone. But you must have your 500 to race or the burnout competition.
502.
Yep. You'll probably get up to about 510 tonight. That's usually about how much it overshoots usually when people are trolling for subs for our friends. Heavens Mopar Scott tried to catch one in his mouth and almost succeeded. He's going to try again. He's brave. Thumper says, I drove a very loud blown car around and no cops even blinked. Yeah, they're pretty good about not messing with our guys. But remember, you guys have to do your part. No burnouts or being stupid going over there to Lambert's and back, okay? That's what they said. They said, you know what? They'll give us some grace, but you guys got to behave.
Yeah, my race cars don't even got VIN numbers.
You want to do a burnout? We have a burnout pit. Friday night, we have a big burnout competition. Send a column of smoke 100 yards high over that burnout pit every year. You want to do a burnout? Do it there. Colleen says, don't freak out if you drop below 500 tomorrow. Yeah, if the YouTube audit monster comes and wants to shake you down, don't worry. You're in, you're in. Yeah, we don't worry about that.
I'll expect it.
It'll probably stick. I mean, it just usually YouTube looks for patterns of your subs and will sometimes pull them back and they'll come back later. Don't worry about it. You're in. You got it. But the thing is now you've done this, everybody knows who Left Turn Dodge is. Like when you roll in, everybody's going to recognize you and your car and everything. People aren't going to walk up to you and ask who you are. They're already going to know. And you'll know who they are too. They're all the people you see here.
Yeah, it's just this. I'm still learning names. I'm terrible with names anyways. And then everybody has too.
Yep. Well, I recognize a lot of them by their channel name anyway. I mean, like you say Todd, who? It's Mohawk, right? I mean, kind of how it is, right? Somebody said Thumper's name. Nobody know who you're talking about. We all call him Thumper, right? So just kind of how it is. If you have anything for any of these guys, now's a good time to ask. You got them all cornered.
I didn't really take notes. You kind of sprung this on me.
I did on purpose. I told you it was coming as you got close to 500.
I thought I had another week or so.
I usually like to let it get inside about 30. Jason says that was the weirdest part of my first No Name Nationals. People would walk up and shake my hand. Yeah, they already knew who he was.
Anyone shaking Jason's hand surprises me.
He says, everyone but my family calls me Thumper. Yeah. One-Eyed Cat wants to know what the commute is for you to Sykeston. How far is it for you to the No Name Nationals? Have you looked?
For me?
Yeah.
Jay told me, but I don't even remember.
Same commute for the Rabbit Transit Garage, guys. Vintage Venture Drive says, when I pulled up last year, I pulled up to see Just Mopar Joe and Jamie from Dead Dodge Garage, and they both knew who I was. Made me feel so special. Yep. It's legit. Mohawk says, best community on the planet. Junkyard D wants to know if you're going to be in the burnout contest.
I probably got a better chance at winning that than I do a race.
You can enter it.
That's a for sure. I don't have to worry about screwing up the sheet metal on my cars.
Yeah, we got Jersey barriers and we've got big sand barrels. The only person we've ever had tag anything is Chris from Busted Radio Garage tagged one of the sand barrels one year. But, I mean, people have been pretty good.
GPS is telling me a little under 8 hours.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
7.5 to 8, depending on the route.
That's not bad.
I'll follow the truck driver. I'm not going to pick the route.
Dougster says, not necessarily. Tanner from Vintage Venture Drives came to my camp and shot the breeze with me for quite a while. Left and came back after a while and said, I just found out who you are. Well, Dougster needs to register as a participant in a race. We'd like to see Dougster racing. JC and Caravan from Wisconsin. Boy, that would be wild looking at all that going down the road together. Thumper said, if you want a Caravan, I'll roll with you when I catch up. Yeah, he could.
Well, we could probably just wait on you to get here.
Exactly. Old McDonald said about the same time of travel for me to get there. Oh, McDonald, are you coming this year? Wrong English says it's 5 hours just to get to Ohio. Yeah, they go to their uncles in Ohio first. Wendy says, not bad. I wish he was under 8 hours. Yeah, they come all the way from Pennsylvania. It's a pretty good commute for the Englishes.
That's quite a haul.
Jason's saying they can wait on you. Yeah, it'd be a good caravan to see Thumper and the Wisconsin boys. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that's a great caravan.
The more the better if something goes bad.
Dougster says, I'm registered to race currently. My race vehicle's a pair of Skechers. Dougster, it does time out in 22 seconds, by the way. Just saying. He says, maybe the Illinois cops won't bother me if I roll with you guys. Well, the way I go through about 100 yards of Illinois is it. That is it. I get off one bridge, immediately get on another. That's it. It's all the Illinois I do. Stovall's 3.5 hours away on I-57. Yeah, that's an easy drive for you. Stovall, what's your plan to get these subs? So you move up one because Chris is now an alumnus. So what's your plan looking like? I think you were at 83. I believe you're at 83, 84, 84 right now. Yep, they'll drive past Jeff too if he's coming. That caravan sounds like it could get pretty neat. Dr. Go said, I wonder if the Wisconsin caravan would allow a J-body to join. What say you, Chris?
I don't get any call on this. I'm the new guy.
Let me pick up with Cope. Jeff Rose, a lone wolf going to No Name Nationals. Hey, long as y'all show up, however you want to do it. Andrew Nelson says 900 miles, 13 hours of driving from where they are in Pennsylvania. You know, it's kind of funny. Dr. Go says maybe we can get Cope to swing over and join the two hacks. I wonder how Cope would be in a convoy because I can kind of hear him now, like, this guy needs to go on. I can hear him doing that from the convoy. Caravan might be a rolling car show. Yeah, well, you know, a caravan, a cool kind of stuff that shows up in Sykes and going down the road. You know, everybody looks. Gotta be cool.
That's why I hate my enclosed trailer.
I love open trailers because you get to see the car going down the road.
Yeah, that open is way better.
I agree.
Except for at the track.
That's what's missing. Yeah, except at the track. You're right. Indirect connection. Cope wanted a convoy, couldn't leave day one. Yeah, that happens. Yeah, Cope's a lot of fun. Old McDonald says, forgot about the 2-3 hours more after I moved up here. Yeah, that sounds more like it. Michael Schmidt is here. Hi, all. Hello, sir. Glad you could make it. We're talking about convoying to the No Name Nationals. And since you've just joined us, we've got Chris joining us from Left Turn Garage. He is our newest alumni to the No Name 500. He's just gotten his 500 subs tonight. So he is good to go. Stovall Farms and Garage. Got to start making videos and stop working so many hours. I'll have a barn find video this weekend. A wagon I built 30 years ago I just found. How cool is that? That sounds
cool.
really neat. When you put that video out, tag us on it so more people can share it, get it out there. Tanner says, just wait till y'all see my scamp on the open trailer coming to Sykeston. It'll be sick. Okay.
What are you towing it with, Tanner?
Yeah, what are you bringing? What's the rest of your rig look like? Bigfoots and Mopar says after Lambert's, we should go down to Sonic for ice cream and do a cruise in town. Do what you like. His tow rig again is going to be the dad's 66 C20. Cool. That's a great little rig. Yeah, I really like that. Wendy says, maybe Rich can convoy with someone this year. You be talking about Rich 220? My gosh. Big Mike says, I always seem to have someone wanting to talk to me about whichever car I'm hauling at the time when stopping for fuel or such. I can totally see that. Sounds like I got a big Midwest convoy wanting to form up. Sounds good to me. Well, you tell old 220 he should come out. If his 57 is running, the house will give him a registration to race. If his 57 is running and he brings it there. If he brings his running 57 there, the house will give him a registration to race. Rich will need to sit back, not my co-pilot time. Tried to put Rich in the scam last year, but he wouldn't fit. So I don't know if you saw, but a cardboard stand-up, a life-size cardboard stand-up of Rich 220 was at the No Name Nationals last year. Bigfoot Mark's got a vintage tow rig as well. Wanting to bring his Belvedere with the club cab Dodge. I like it. Big Michael chip in gas money for him to get it there. I have a feeling there's no amount of anything would get him there, but if he wants to come down, he can. Unfinished Project says it's AI. Maybe. Unfinished Project, I don't know if you've been listening, but Chris from Left Turn Garage has made his 500 subs. Junkyard Jay said he was the 500th sub, so you didn't sneak in there and get the 500th for him, but Jay did. Oh, Wrong English says Cat may have a ramp truck. Oh, that would be wild. Old McDonald says, how much more in fuel costs is everyone expecting? Well, what I will tell you for sure is, and we know this will happen, it's a midterm election year, and the No Name Nationals, September, the timing of it, the fuel prices always go down a little right before that event. Every year. They always have. So we probably will see that again this year. Mostly Mopar says, when I littered Plymouth on my Fury's quarter panel, it stopped all the people who couldn't figure out what model Ford it was. Yeah, isn't that the truth? D thinks he was the 500th. Well, Junkyard Jay said he was. Somebody was. Unfinished Project just got in, playing with that sweet 71 Dart that he bought. Yep, that is cool. Oh, One-Eyed Cat says he found him a ramp truck, a 78 Ford 394 speed. That sounds neat. Ron's expecting the gas will be down. Yeah, I'm telling you, right, September, it goes down. I mean, and it goes down and coincides with elections. Just generally always does. Indirect Connection thinks he was the 500th. Dean says, I got to tell the truth, or my credibility will be considered misinformation. That's the thing. There's a lot of people who believe what they're saying when they're saying things that are misinformation. So they're not lying. They're just wrong. Vintage Adventure Drive says, I may not have my scamp lettered yet for No Name Nationals, but it'll be lettered eventually. Okay. Yeah, this year's shaping up to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward. I think the 5th year is just going to shape up to be the biggest and best and most fun yet. Unfinished projects, and it's wild, like working on a new car. None of the bolts are rusty. I no longer feel like I overpaid. Wow. Andrew Nelson says, is there anybody out on Long Island? We found a Studebaker similar to Calvin's. We may need to get off the island. What is that channel that's up there? We do actually. We got a channel up there. I think of his name. We do have a fella up there. I don't know why his channel name's escaping me, but we do. I'll think about it. Dr. Go, if we bring a different car, will you have fresh window numbers? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Long Island Mopars. Well, this is true. Wasn't the one I was thinking of, but yes. Charles Keach, point the camera at 431 seat 12. Okay. Wendy says, when was I going to get told about this truck? Hadn't even bought it and he's already in trouble.
I really do kind of want a ramp truck too, because that way when I go do sound at these rockabilly car shows that I do, I could take one of my cars with me.
Ramp trucks are neat.
One of those things I've always thought about building.
Yeah, the thing about a ramp truck too is you can actually bring two cars with it. Haul one, tow one.
Right.
Jason's headed to St. Louis Monday morning. Man, he drives around, doesn't he? So what kind of stuff do we have coming up on the Left Turn Dodge channel?
I made a couple of videos today, a short and a long. I'm mounting a tire on my old Coates 20 or 30 tire changer. I haven't even previewed them to see how they worked out, but I've got a lot of stuff kind of going on with springtime and honeydew list and chores around the yard and all that. And so I'm not even sure where I'm going with things. I've got a Cummins that just flat quit on me in the yard. That might be a video here real soon. Knocked the bottom off the fuel filters. So once the fuel filters get here, then I'm gonna have to try and get it primed back up and get it to start. Hopefully that's all it needs is just the filters. I can't hear the pump running.
Yeah, those fuel pumps can be so noisy you can't hear anything over them.
Yeah, usually you turn the key on and you hear it humming, and it's not humming now for some reason after I ran it dry. So it might not be good. I do have a spare. It's a fast pump. I've got a spare. So
Dizzy likes the fender wheels that mostly Mopar made. He made a different kind of fender wheel. You guys will have to see it. It's a little different. It's on his channel. I think he's got it on his channel. He sent me some pictures. Dust Devil Garage Brian is here. Brian, welcome the newest member who has gotten his 500 subs. Chris from Left Turn Dodge. He made it happen. Says he'll be over eventually for the K members. Backwoods Performance is here. Unfinished Project said, I was already subbed to Left Turn Dodge. I plan on having a NASCAR livery ride someday. Cool. Main Street Mopar Chumley, what's the plan for the W9 motor?
Couple of things I've thought about for that. It's probably going to be a vintage stock car of some type. I've got a pair of 71 Chargers. I really like to make a 71-ish NASCAR clone, but big blocks are expensive, and I've got that. So it would keep up just as well as a big block would for sure. So that could potentially wind up in that. Or I've thought about building a clone of basically a clone of a kit car, the Chrysler kit car program. I've thought about doing one of those and use it in that.
Clayton's Toolbox is here. Says, howdy, I made it. Kerosene Cucumber thought it would be cool to build a ramp truck out of a GM motorhome with the Eldorado drivetrain. Oh, absolutely. I love the idea of doing that. The TH425 front wheel drive. I thought that'd be the best way. I would love doing something like that. And they're great transmissions too. Yeah,
I actually did used to have a ramp truck made out of a Dodge motorhome, but it was really poorly made and just wasn't. It didn't work out well, so I sent that one down the road.
So tell us how that shaped up. So did they use a B series van? Was it that style of cab?
Yeah, it was the B series van. It was built. I actually traded a pickup truck and a trailer for it, and it had a 360 in it, and it drove good empty. But when you got the race car on it, in order to get the thing to drive good, you just about had to have the back bumper pressing against the seat of the van, or the driver's seat. And it just didn't work out well that way.
Is this where the wheelbase is so short you could never get the balance right?
Yeah, it wasn't really all that short, but it just didn't want to get a good balance to it to where it rode right.
That's good to know, because I've always thought that'd be neat. I mean, I love the look of it because I like the B van cab.
Yeah, I do too.
I like the way it's laid out. Yeah. I mean, it's terrible to work on, but it's cool otherwise. I
saw a motorhome that was just stripped off the chassis on Facebook Marketplace recently, and I was like, well, that'd be really cool, but I got way too many projects sitting here.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Backwoods Performance. That photo of the fella in the 65 Dodge running NASCAR smoking a cigar was one of my favorites. Who would he be talking about?
I'm not even sure. I know there used to be a lot of pictures of Dick Trickle with his cigarette in his
yep,
while he was smoking, and it even had a cigarette lighter wired up in the car.
I remember that. Yes, he did. Great short track driver. Indirect connection. Jason says, I saw a Ford van with a ramp on the back this week. It was a U-Haul truck converted. That's neat. That's pretty cool.
It makes sense.
It does. The One-Eyed Cat says Dick Trickle only smoked during cautions. Okay.
That's why he had to have the lighter in the car.
He had the lighter on the dash. Yes, he did. Bob Reed would smoke while he made passes, and I know that because I've seen it. I've been standing at the fence at Farmington, saw him in the car, open-faced helmet. He raced with his cowboy boots, open-face helmet, and a cigarette hanging out of his mouth while he ran down the track in his super stock 68 Barracuda. He was a one of a kind. I actually got to see him a few times a year because Farmington Dragway is just south of us, and that was his home track. So Bull Bob Reed ran down there all the time, and he was just a character. He's a neat guy. I miss him. Gosh, he's been gone, what, like 9 years now? It's hard to believe. Junkyard D says, if you were to make another B200 ramp van, what would you do differently for better handling? Yeah, I'm kind of wondering the same thing.
I'm thinking you'd have to stretch it an extra couple of feet. Unless you got, the one I had wasn't one of the real long ones. They made them that were longer. And the other thing is, like Jason said over here in the comments, is they're unibodies, so you gotta stiffen up that frame a little extra. And that was one of the mistakes that was made on the one that I had, is they didn't stiffen it up at all. They just basically screwed boards on top of the sheet metal floor.
Dougster says that 318 wheel run can put the headers, just hang them on the outer studs in 30 seconds. Yeah, there's a ton of room on the van for headers. That is true. I want to do shorty headers on mine so I can do lake pipes. And Grumpy Jenkins would smoke while he's racing. Yes, he did. We've seen lots of video of that.
Wasn't it Dick also that had a hole drilled in the front of his full face helmet so he could stick the cigarette?
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think that now that you say that, yeah, I think so.
So after Earnhardt died, I remember that NASCAR required everybody to have full face helmets. So I think he drilled a hole in it so he could stick the cigarette through the hole.
Rapids had good drivers over the years. What are you talking about? You talking about Wisconsin Rapids?
Yes.
Okay, by the way, you do know they just had their mayor election on Tuesday, so congratulations to Matt and Zacher for winning re-election. If you know, you know. That's all I'll say.
I saw you made that post.
Yeah. So have you raced with anybody from Wisconsin Rapids?
Probably a few. Last year, the Vintage Series that I raced with, we actually went up there for the first time. I'd never seen the track. My driver had never seen the track. We took the 45 car up there, and he won for the stock chassis 8-inch tire cars.
How long is the wheelbase on a B van? I think the shorty vans are only 109 inches. And then mine is something like a foot and a half longer than that. And the maxi van had the same wheelbase. It was just tacked on the back. So that motorhome would have been around to what, 120 something inch wheelbase?
I think that's the motorhome's got a longer wheelbase, because that was basically like a cabin chassis.
Okay. Big Mike has a 73 Dodge 32-foot motorhome and a 21-foot tilt bed trailer I want to build a haul around on. Okay. Are you sad for Tom? No, not in the least. Can't wait to see that come together. That is right. Is that a GearVendor overdrive, a divorce style? I think it's the kind that bolts on the transfer case, actually. But it's I just saw it at the junkyard. B&R Racing's asking about the thumbnail for tonight. 109 inches is a pony car, sports car. I believe that's what the shorty van wheelbase was 109. If Hoosier Garage, Indiana Garage, was still in here, I know he could tell us. My van has the long wheelbase, but it has the short overhang in the back. It's the middle length. And the maxi vans had the long overhang in the back and the long wheelbase. 127. That number sounds real familiar now, Junkyard D says. Yeah, I think you're right. Yes, 127. I believe so. Dancing Alone with Reynolds has a weird comment. Thank you for being the pioneer that you are in the car. I'm not any pioneer. I'm just enjoying doing this and hosting the party. You guys make it fun. Unshakable commitment to these lives. We're just having fun. Indirect Connection says 118, 136, and 159 inch wheelbases for the Dodge vans. You can get them up to 159. Wow. That had to be like the big chassis or something. Well, thank you, Dancing Alone with Reynolds. Glad you're here. Glad you could make it tonight. Blue Grit Garage is speaking of smoking holes through full face helmets. I saw quite a few people during COVID with smoking holes in their masks. goodness. Wendy says, I'm going to vacuum seal chicken here soon. Cool. Right on. Thumper says, the only thing I'll be smoking this year is a scamp. They got the banner going on, don't they? Freezer stock, yes. You can imagine my freezer is pretty sparse. Keep a few frozen pizzas, some frozen blueberries. When I get dollar a loaf bread, I freeze however many extra loaves I get. BNR says 164.5-inch wheelbase on the GMs, 88 to 99. Two-door extended cab pickups, 3/4 ton, 1 tons, nice tow, modern highway speed. Sounds like it's good. Wendy's got 80 pounds of it to seal. Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot of chicken. Dr.
Go remembers the long Dodge vans, the long back sections with the caulk seam. Yes, the maxi van, they called it. They had an extra 1.5 feet, I think, that was on past the end. Indecisive Garage Tim, he says, howdy, everybody. I've been in the background listening, not feeling well tonight. Well, we hope you get well quickly. Dean says like a 71 to 73 Mustang, 109. Yeah, Dodge Dart has a longer wheelbase than the Shorty van. It does. Shorty van's 109. The Duster Demon Dart Sports 108. Hurry back to good health, Indecisive Garage Tim. Yes, indeed.
So now if you go back to the A series vans, those were 100-inch and 109-inch, I think they were.
They were short, yeah.
The 100 was the wheelbase.
Yeah.
And I think the other one was a 109.
Wow. B&R says Barrows had a nice car hauler made from an old school bus. Yes. Dart Scamp 111. Yes, indeed. Blue Grit says Anna's No Name Nationals prospect to the machine shop 1 month ago was moved out 48 inches across the aisle. Is that progress? For a machine shop, yes. What's the wheelbase on a Fox Body Zephyr Fairmont Capri? Ford people. What is it? What is the wheelbase on Fairmont? I'd like to know. 4 feet of progress. Well, for a machine shop, that's more than most. Usually there's just, an inch of dust on stuff. Dancing Along with Reynolds said, I had an 85 short Dodge van. As I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted had that van, and it turned over 100,000 3 times. So 300,000 mile 85 Dodge Shorty van. Neat. I have no idea how many miles is on mine. It's over 200. The odometer was, I know it was over 100, and 95 is what it shows now, and it's never worked since I've had it. So I'm sure it's well over 200. I just don't know what.
The first vehicle I ever bought was a 73 short wheelbase van, and that one was over 300,000 when I bought it.
Racer Races, the early Chevy van was available with 95-inch wheelbase. Man, the Pinto's 98, Tanner says. $105.5 for the Fairmont. Sounds right. Yes, Unfinished Project sent me the link to that 84 Shorty van on Marketplace. It really looks cool too. Capri Mustang was 100.5. Yeah. Dr. Go said he's seen some nice old square Winnebagos converted to a slant back call harbor. Look pretty cool. Yeah, I would say. The Dodge A100s are 90. So you had a 90 and a 100. Wow. Mostly Mopar recently helped a friend design and build a ramp bed on a 60 Ford 600 or something like that. He may be at No Name Nationals with me, but he's not driving his 50-mile-an-hour ramp truck. I can understand that.
That needs another gear.
It needs that GearVendors. Jason's Google fingers are working overtime tonight, Jay says. Jason says, my thumbs are burning.
Oh, Tank's going to let loose here.
Uh-oh. Well, Jethro's napping.
The kid just came home.
This has been fun. For those of you that came in here a little bit later, we've got Chris from Left Turn Garage. He's now got his 500 subs. He's our first alumnus of 2026. And he's already made his first call out for the 5th annual No Name Nationals. We tend to have 4 shifts worth of people that come to our live streams on Friday. Backwoods Performance says, don't do the T5. They're fragile. Backwoods Performance, how's your stable coming? Your nitrous oxide bottle looks like it's ready for a rap video. Got the sunglasses and gold chain. You guys can see that here. Well, we got a 33 Plymouth Coupe now.
Well, that'd be cool.
Indirect Jason says a T5 shouldn't die in a Pinto with a 2.0, would it? I don't know. Guess it depends what you do to it. Lake Speed had a live episode yesterday about motor oil production problems with what's going on in the Middle East. Prices set to go up. You might want to stock up on your favorite brews. That's probably not a bad idea anyway. Mohawk says, who all is going to the Buick Bash birthday party at Dallas's house tomorrow? Yeah, Dallas is having a work party on his Buick tomorrow, Saturday. I'm not going to make it. I wish I'd even known about it. I didn't even know about it till Wednesday. But I go over to do work, and you guys are invited. So, Backwoods Performance says, I don't know about with a 2.0, but I blew second and third gear synchros out of my 351 Fox body by driving it like I stole it. Yep, I reckon you can do that to most anything. Vintage Venture Drive says, I'm using the Ford Type 9 in my Pinto. It's a direct swap. The only fab I'll have to do is for the transmission mount. Everything else works. Thumper would come to Dallas's party, but he has 2 days of snow moving to do. It was in the 70s T-shirt weather here today, Thumper. Gosh. Thumper still snowed in the middle of April. Says it's 30 degrees right now. Ugh.
That's 42 here.
Man. And Mohawk said it was 80 today. It was in the 70s here. It was about 72 when I went out to lunch. Had a lunch meeting today, and it was 72. It was just really nice outside. BNR says, researching today on my own. Over there is what crude oil is used for, make high-quality base stock mineral grade and synthetic oils. Unfinished Project suggests Thumper moving south. He says they don't get anything green until the end of May there. Dancing Alone with Reynolds said there should be a law against snow in April.
I'm with that.
Oh, but Donald said the 2 inches we got overnight melted below afternoon. They're still getting snow. I think he's in the Detroit area. Oh, my. Aaron says it's 86 here right now on the other side of the world. Now, Interact Jason says he had the AC cranked up in Florida 2 nights ago. I got to tell you, that doesn't mean a thing. I know guys who will crank the AC up when it is 30 degrees outside. Some people just do that year-round. Mike says 75 there in North Carolina. It's about the same as here. Three hours north of Detroit. Yeah, I guess so. Thumper says he blames Trump for all the ice in my yard. Backwoods Performance says, when we loaded up my 65 Plymouth back in February in Detroit, it was in the negatives and it sucked. Oh, yeah. I've been to the airport in Detroit. The inside of an airport is all of Michigan I've ever seen. The inside of an airport in Detroit. Indecisive Tim says, we had a couple inches of fresh snow this morning, melted by 4 this afternoon. Gosh, y'all are still getting snow. Well, it was a little cold here this morning. I'll tell you that, but it was in the 70s by lunchtime. It was nice. Yeah, Indecisive Garage's old Mac is close to me. Yep. Unfinished Project said it's only money. You can't take it with you. You want to be dealing with that snow in 10 years? Think of all the extra time to cruise those Pontiacs. He says, I'm expecting another blizzard this month. Oh, my. Well, anybody have anything else for Chris from Left Turn Garage? I mean, we got a few minutes left here, but I really appreciate you coming on the show, Chris. I mean, this has been a lot of fun doing the 500 party with you and having you on.
Thanks a lot for having me.
That's great. Anybody have anything else for Chris? Tonight's been a lot of fun, and now we've got 8 channels still running in the No Name 500. Mostly Mopar is now in the lead. And so he's doing some good stuff over there, making some custom headers. You might want to watch that and watch that all come together. The way he did his fender wells, they'll unbolt, exhaust, and all, and come off the car.
Yeah, I like that design.
Mike just says, congratulations again. Indeed. Tonight was his night. First of the year. Jason says, have a great week, everyone. Backwoods congratulates you again. Dancing Alone with Reynolds is asking, have you seen all the 68 and 67 Dodge Cornettes for sale as of late? You don't see many 69s for sale, that's for sure.
I have seen a few.
And this is good here in 16 minutes. Junkyard D says, don't forget to check out Jay's Junkers premiere after the live. This is true. He's running the No Name 500 as well. You can find a link to his channel on my main page. The B200 van, it's huge. Yeah, it sure does look cool. I believe it's a 79 maxi van. Okay, Michael Schmidt, we'll close with this. What wisdom does Chris have for the 500 subs, for guys out there wanting to make it? What advice would you give them?
I said even before you brought me on, there's no intelligence here. Just keep posting. Keep posting and kind of watch your stats and see what works for you and what doesn't. And there was things that people told me, oh, this will work. And I tried them and they didn't always do for me what they've done for other people. And then there were things that I did that others didn't think were going to do that well, and they did great.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But overall, you would just say, keep posting.
Yeah, you got to keep at it. I mean, I was inconsistent, and, I know that I could have done better for myself if I'd been more consistent, but, life gets in the way sometimes. So does winter.
If any of our mods would post a link to Junkyard Jay's premiere, we'll let that pop up. People want to go over there. He'll be live here after this. So the premiere 79 Dodge van looks like it'll be a cool live, or cool premiere rather. But with that, we're going to close down for the night. Thanks again to our guest Chris from Left Turn Garage. Thank you all for being here. Don't forget to check out Tech Talk Live on Wednesdays on the Slant Daily Garage channel with Professor T in Dallas. And I'll be back here next Friday, mostly Mopar. He's going to be coming up soon. He's now the front runner. Will he be the next to cross the finish line? I guess we'll just have to keep watching and finding out. But as for Chris, he is in. Tonight is his night. Congratulations. And with that, we're going to shut down for the weekend. You all take care. Have a great weekend, and I will see you all again soon.